हिटलर भी चुनाव जीत के आया था। हाँ, हिटलर भी चुनाव जीत जाता था। हिटलर चुनाव ऐसे जीतता था कि जर्मनी के पूरे इंस्टीट्यूशंस उसके हाथ में थे।
नरेंद्र मोदी
10 साल हिटलर का ही समय था। 10 साल से ज्यादा वो नहीं रह पाया वहां, तो 10 साल तो इनका भी पूरा हुआ।
हिटलर ने भी यही किया था। जब हिटलर आया था, हिटलर ने 3 महीने में कर दिया, इन्होंने 10 साल लगा दिया।
हिटलर जो था वो पहले बहुत लोकप्रिय हुआ।
मोदी हिटलर की राह चलेगा तो हिटलर की मौत मरेगा, ये याद रख लो मोदी।
Viewers, at this time last evening we were discussing about the horrors of emergency. It was its 50th anniversary. Tonight, let's talk about the emergency mindset, not of the past, but one that is present and very much in action. Viewers, Congress leaders like Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge have repeatedly called Prime Minister Modi Hitler, dictator, and much worse. You just heard some of it. And with no legal consequences, no FIRs, no police cases. Yet when the BJP dares to draw a historical parallel, Congress tries foul and calls in the cops. The Karnataka Congress government has filed an FIR against the BJP for a social media post comparing Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to Adolf Hitler. That's right, an FIR, a legal weapon aimed at a political analogy, comparison. This is not just intolerance, viewers, it's much more than that. It's a glaring display of the very emergency mindset of the Congress party. The Karnataka BJP posted a video. It showed Indira Gandhi with a Hitler-like mustache, captioned, "Indira is not India, Indira is equal to Hitler." You can call it provocative. Some would also say it's in bad taste. But is it a crime? That's where Congress crosses a dangerous line. An FIR was filed alleging defamation and incitement. Viewers, the real damage is not the social media post, it's the Congress's reaction. It proves they cannot handle the same heat they dish out daily to Modi. Viewers, let's hold a mirror to the Congress tonight. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, has repeatedly called PM Modi a dictator, accusing his government of running an undeclared emergency for over a decade. The Congress president, Mallikarjun Kharge, has gone further, directly comparing Modi to Hitler, claiming he's destroying democratic institutions. Congress spokespersons and social media handles have used terms like fascist, tyrant to mock and ridicule Prime Minister Modi. They do this almost on a daily basis. Where are the FIRs for those? Why is it that the Congress can hurl insults with impunity, but when the BJP critiques Indira Gandhi's emergency, which was a historical fact, the police are weaponized? This double standard, viewers, does not just trouble me, it should trouble you. It should trouble every Indian who values free speech. The BJP's post tied to Samvidhan Hatya Divas was aimed to remind emergency horrors. Was the imagery provocative? Sure, you can say that. But political discourse, viewers, is not meant to be some, political tea party chatter. It's meant to challenge, it's meant to provoke, to spark a debate. But by filing an FIR, Congress is not defending Indira's legacy. Not at all. They are giving more fuel to their critics. It's like a validation for what the BJP is saying. Imagine if a historical analogy is now a crime. What's next? FIRs for criticizing Congress chief ministers, MPs, MLAs, their spokespersons? Will every tweet, every meme, every critique of Congress's past or present become a police matter? Where does this end? Viewers, this is the emergency mindset in action. Control the narrative, intimidate your opponents, and use state power to settle scores. The irony is almost poetic. Congress accuses the BJP of authoritarianism while proving through this legal overreach that they are the ones allergic to dissent. sample the reactions.
If you try to malign a leader who served the country for so many years and brought about good development those days, and naturally somebody will object to that.
And Bharatiya Janata Party, we have rightly compared Srimati Indira Gandhi to Hitler. What's wrong in that? Entire country, entire world knows how Indira Gandhi, to save her position, her seat as the Prime Minister, how democracy, entire system was collapsed.
Let's open this up. Shehzad Poonawala, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Tushar Gupta, Professor Anwar Pasha, national spokesperson of the Rashtriya Janata Dal, Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst, Ravi Srivastav, Syed Asad Abbas completes the panel. Ravi Srivastav, how many times have you called Modi Hitler, sir? आपको याद भी नहीं होगा. How many times have Congress leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Khadge, called Modi a Hitler? Now, for every comment like that, should there be FIRs?
Pranesh, in political discourse, using this kind of what do you call Hitler or Saddam Hussein or Idi Amin or this goes on. This is nothing new. And if you are talking about Mr. Modi, then the several names have been called to Rahul Gandhi, also a leader of opposition.
Ravi Srivastav, have FIRs been filed? That's my question. I understand that this is all a political attack. It can happen. Parties resort to this to send a message. Should FIRs be filed? That's my question.
Pranesh, this particular video is not only cheap, vulgar, insulting and misogynistic. My insistence is on misogynistic. You are showing a woman with mustache. Now, to what extent you can stoop low? This is what I want to know from BJP. And I think the Congress should not take it lying down. They have not been taken for quite some time now. They have filed a FIR. Let the Honorable Court and the police decide whether this particular video or meme or whatever you call it is in the good taste. This is the dirtiest, cheapest one.
Okay, so there should be an FIR. Syed Asad Abbas?
Firstly, Pranesh, I don't think it's only the opposition parties have called Narendra Modi ji as Hitler. My dear friend Shehzad Poonawala, the national spokesperson of BJP, prior to joining BJP, called Narendra Modi ji as a Desi Hitler. Not just that, he wrote an article completely comparing how Modi ji and
Hitler,
and
which is why the BJP has banned him. He is now in the Congress party. Syed Asad Abbas, this is the heights of the, heights of intolerance. Get to the point. Get to the point. Should there be an FIR?
The point, Pranesh, that the BJP is a very accepting party. Today you can call Modi ji Adarnya. I have never called Modi ji Hitler. Adarnya Modi ji ko Hitler block. Kal aap jaake jam jao. It does not apply only to those people. It also applies to all the corrupt people. But
that's not my answer. 1 minute. Sawal kya hai? Syed Asad Abbas. Khadge called Modi a Hitler. Rahul Gandhi has called Modi a Hitler. They should also be booked.
He has called Modi a Hitler. My friend Shehzad Poonawala also has called Modi a Hitler.
Yeah, so book Shehzad also.
No, I will
book
not do
Rahul
that.
Gandhi, Khadge and Shehzad. Put them in the same cell.
Not do that. The fact of the matter is, Pranesh, that the fact is duplicity और hypocrisy की भी सीमा होती है.
और emergency की सीमा नहीं होती है. 75 से 2025 तक चला ही आ रहा है emergency. Emergency की सीमा होती है. Where will you draw the line? Nikhil, you could not find the apology letter yesterday. Here we are once again on the panel. Look, you can't call me intolerant. फिर से बुला लिया आपको मैंने. अब ये बताइए, people like Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Khadge, who've abused Prime Minister Modi, gone beyond Hitler and what not, should they also be booked according to this logic given by Ravi Srivastav?
Can I speak for even a minute without interjections? I will answer your question. You know I don't run away from questions.
Yeah. All of 40 minutes
Yes,
yesterday you
May
could not answer my question. You can try once again today. Boliye.
I showed you the proof on live television. If you're not willing to see it, that's not my problem. I have the article with me right here. I'm going to show it again just for the sake of it. I showed it yesterday.
Okay, let me repeat what I said. Show me the official Congress apology on emergency. There is none. So you can't find it. Get to the point now, Nikhil.
I have showed the proof.
Okay, get to the point. Okay, right. You've showed everything. People have seen. I leave it to their judgment. Now answer the question.
Let me reply. Pranesh, let me reply. Yes. Thank you so much. Just one thing, I would also like Shehzad Poonawalla and the BJP to show an apology letter for the failure of the government in the 2002 Gujarat riots. None would be found. In fact, you would see Narendra Modi saying, "Aisa to hota rehta hai." Nonetheless, in May 2025,
as the Supreme Court, no, 1 minute. You are some advocate. Must have heard of the Supreme Court. What has the court said in the case? Is there an order indicting Prime Minister Modi? Now show me that. You could not find the Congress apology. Show me that order, Nikhil Jain.
No. I'll tell you. The final judgment from the Supreme Court gave a clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Prime Minister Modi should be apologizing for getting a clean chit. He should say sorry because I've got a clean chit. I've proven the Congress narrative wrong. इसके लिए माफी मांगना चाहिए उनको.
By the courts. Was Indira Gandhi ever indicted by the courts? Has any court in the country said that Prime Minister...
The Prime Minister, 1 minute, she is the only Prime Minister with a dubious distinction, whose election was set aside. What more greater embarrassment do you need? Why are you doing this to your leader? Nikhil Jain, don't do this to her, please. The Congress government in Karnataka has already, done enough. What are you doing? Adding more muck to it.
Judgment of the High Court. Supreme Court overturned that judgment of the High Court.
I'm not here to waste time. You obviously don't have an answer. If you don't have an answer, say I concede. I can't answer for this FIR. What explains this FIR for Indira Hitler comparison? Answer that question.
I'll tell you what explains this FIR. Yes, I'll tell you what explains this FIR. The fact that this is a very distasteful, stupid and moronic video, and an FIR should not have been filed. But a similar FIR should not have been filed in Uttar Pradesh in May 2025 against 3 individuals for posting a video against Narendra Modi. Or in April 2025 in Ghaziabad against an individual, Raj Singh Chaudhary, for posting a video against Narendra Modi. Or for an FIR against Adesh Bansode for sharing a Dhruv Rathi video calling Narendra Modi a dictator, filed in Maharashtra in May 2024. Or against Congress leader Beni Prasad Verma for making some remarks against the Prime Minister in May 2014. Or a number of other cases where BJP ruled states have filed FIRs against individuals, opposition leaders, journalists, YouTubers.
So you're following the BJP model. Let's get a response from the BJP. Shehzad Poonawalla, answer that.
I hope I won't be interrupted and I'll be heard out. Ironically, Pranesh, yesterday we were commemorating 50 years of emergency Samvidhan Hatya Divas, and Congress actually proved why the emergency may have been removed, but the mindset has not. INC now means intolerant Nazi Congress. First of all, if we see what has happened in 25th of June, when you suspend fundamental rights, you trample upon the constitution and the judiciary, you jail 250 media persons, you jail 1.5 lakh people without trial, you do 1.2 crore people sterilization forcibly, you kill so many people and you displace people. What is that? Isn't that Hitleresque? Is that an action of a Shanti Doot or an Aman Ki Asha person? Secondly, Goebbels, who was Hitler's propaganda minister, said that always accuse the other side of that which you are doing. This is exactly what Congress does. By the way, moronic and distasteful. Here is the official tweet of Congress party from Telangana handle, where half faces of Modi, half faces of Hitler. This is an assault on the people's wisdom. People have elected Modi. Secondly, here is a picture of Congress Sevadal, official handle. Then there is obviously Subodh Khan Sai, Hitler ki maut marega. It's not just comparing to Hitler. He's saying he has to be killed like Hitler. Means this is incitement of violence. Even then, no case has been filed against Subodh Khan Sai. Mr. MC Abbas And I think M and C stands for not what you think, it stands for mindless and confused. I think mindless and confused Abbas ji, with his obsession towards me, has said, absolutely, you have proven my point. Even though I called Mr. Modi whatever I called him in my article, Prime Minister Modi has not booked me, but in fact he has made a person who's talented a spokesperson. But Rahul Gandhi removed somebody from his party who said Pappu, which is a name that is not very distasteful. Secondly, look at what he's done to Tharoor today. Tharoor put India first, so he's been given threats by the MPs of Congress party saying that in the skies there are vultures and eagles, so don't fly too high. This is your style. And finally, let me also tell you what they're doing apart from Karnataka. By the way, you know where this FIR has been filed in Karnataka? I request Times Now to do a little more investigative journalism in this. High Ground Police Station. You know what is High Ground Police Station? 10 minutes away from Chinnaswamy Stadium. What happened at Chinnaswamy Stadium? The man-made state-sponsored stampede. This police station does not send cops to control the crowd, but it files cases against journalists, against Ajit Bharti, against Vineet Naik, people who are on social media, and it hounds people. And then what does the Telangana CM say? I will strip down the journalists who talk against the government. What do they do in Telangana? File a case against Mr. Sinha, one of the prominent people on Twitter. They file cases on journalists. In Himachal, beat this, a Muslim SP has been shunted out of her position. You know why? Because she filed a case for illegal carrying of mines and sand material against a Congress leader's wife. This is the level of intolerance of Congress. And here they are preaching. So Mr. M.C. Abbas, get over your obsession towards me and answer the question. And Mr. Nikhil Jain, if perhaps maybe you could bring more facts to the table, then the hair on your head, you would make sense for a change.
Okay, let's bring in Professor Anwar Pasha. Professor Pasha, अलायंस कोएलिशन ये सब एक मिनट के लिए भूल जाते हैं सर. किसी ने किसी के लिए कुछ बोल दिया, उसके लिए एफआईआर हो जाता है. राहुल गांधी प्राइम मिनिस्टर को खड़गे बोलते हैं, और खड़गे जी प्राइम मिनिस्टर तो हिटलर बोलते हैं, और भी कांग्रेस के नेता हैं जो बोलते हैं. तो ये एफआईआर माइंडसेट सही है कांग्रेस का?
प्रणेश जी, of course, emergency was a dark age, a dark time. We all criticize it. We fought against it. We, the Samajwadi, we fought against emergency. We were put behind bar. But this is also a fact that the Congress apologized for the emergency. This is also a fact. And it is all on record. Who are the people who admire Hitler? Who were the people who met Mussolini? Who are the people who have the picture of Hitler in their office? It is on record. Everybody knows it. Do you know what has been the contribution of Indira Gandhi? Indira Gandhi fought against the British while she was in her early age.
Yeah.
She fought against British. It is a fact. What is the contribution of BJP in our freedom struggle?
Okay.
What is the contribution of RSS in our freedom struggle? Everybody knows Indira Gandhi, she has been a very successful prime minister of the country who led our country in the world. She was the iron lady.
This is not some Indira Gandhi memorial lecture. I am asking you a question on the FIR that has been filed. If Rahul Gandhi can call Prime Minister Modi Hitler, why is the Congress party filing an FIR for Indira Hitler comparison? Why?
Obviously, it's insult to the former Prime Minister.
और जब राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं तो वो इंसल्ट नहीं होता प्रोफेसर साहब?
She deserves respect as a Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister, okay, the current Prime Minister does not deserve respect?
I'm not saying that.
तो फिर आप बोलिए ना कि राहुल गांधी पे भी FIR होना चाहिए, बोलिए.
To file an FIR against the people, why don't you? It means people accept it.
नहीं, आप बोल दीजिए ना, आप बोल दीजिए, if you condemn the BJP, आपने बोला कि ये insult है, आप बोलिए I condemn Rahul Gandhi and Khadge for insulting Prime Minister Modi, comparing him to Hitler. एक बार बोल दीजिए प्रोफेसर साहब, please.
There is no reaction from the people. But once you have put this...
Sir, you are a public representative. Professor Pasha, take a stand. Honor the word professor in your name. बोल दीजिए कि I stand with the truth. Tushar Gupta, you see the hypocrisy is out in the first few minutes.
ये जो बात कर रहे हैं ना कांग्रेस की इज्जत की कि हमें उनकी इज्जत करनी चाहिए, सक्सेसफुल पार्टी है, लीडर है, आरजेडी अभी देखेंगे जब इलेक्शन आएंगे बिहार में कितनी सीटें देगी कांग्रेस को लड़ने में. The early opinion polls internally being circulated are out, Pranesh. Congress is nowhere in Bihar. They're losing. In fact, the Mahagathbandhan is losing. RJD is also losing. But focusing on the Congress, you know, their IT cell, day in and day out, it mocks the Prime Minister. They posted a caricature, a photo of the Prime Minister without his head. They post cartoons about Narendra surrender, something that their own party MPs do not endorse. Congress's IT cell has crossed every possible line that one can cross when it comes to political discourse. Has the BJP filed FIR? Now, there are two ways to look at it. Either the BJP is foolish to not file an FIR on the Congress, or the BJP is actually the Liberal Party of India, which doesn't really, make a mole out of a hill on these matters. The Congress cannot even tolerate a joke that it cracks every single hour on the Prime Minister. This is the hypocrisy. मैं ये भी नहीं कहूंगा कि सुप्रिया श्रीने, पवन खेरा, जयराम रमेश का IT सेल हर एक दिन में एक जोक क्रैक करता है ऐसा प्राइम मिनिस्टर पे या भाजपा पे. हर घंटे एक जोक क्रैक करता है. उनका काम ही यही है. एंगेजमेंट फार्मिंग के नाम पे ये कार्टून रिलीज किए जाते हैं. पर आज उनके खिलाफ किसी ने कार्टून रिलीज कर दिया तो उनको बहुत तकलीफ हो रही है. Pranesh, let me tell you, this FIR, even if it moves to the court, it will be quashed. The court will dismiss it like it dismissed a recent petition when they filed one against the BJP IT cell head and one of the journalists, right? But the problem is Congress now is continuing that emergency mindset, and they'll continue it even when they come in government, if at all in any state. That is how the Congress is always going to function.
Can I just have 20 seconds? Just 20 seconds on two specific points. Professor Pasha made a claim that somebody puts up Hitler's picture in his office, so therefore we are Hitler's chelas. Do you know, the only time in history of India during an election Osama bin Laden's lookalike was used in an election was done by the RJD and Lalu Prasad Yadav. They actually used Osama bin Laden's lookalike for campaigning, and they said that Simi and PFI, they are innocent even though they were banned. Secondly and finally, Indira Gandhi ji fought for independence, therefore she could apply the emergency. JP Saab fought for independence much more than Indira ji did. And when he started the movement against the emergency and against Indira's corrupt rule, at that time the Congress party used the choicest of bad words. Today we have an OBC Prime Minister who has been abused on his caste. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has got convicted for calling entire Modi Samaj as chor. And here is an OBC party, claims to be OBC, whose daughter's name is Misa, is hailing Indira Gandhi, whose party abuses Karpuri Thakur, Modi and JP. गजब का अलायंस है ये.
गजब. श्रीवास्तव, आप बोल रहे थे ये मिसोजिनिस्टिक भी है. इंसल्टिंग तो है ही. आपने बोला मिसोजिनिस्टिक. निखिल, आई एम कमिंग टू यू आफ्टर दिस. है ना सर, आपने बोला मिसोजिनिस्ट. एक मिनट मैं आपसे कुछ पूछ रहा हूं सर. कांग्रेस की ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट पे inc.in, मैं आपको लिंक भेज दूंगा बाद में, मैं देख रहा हूं, अभी मैंने देखा, इंदिरा गांधी एज प्राइम मिनिस्टर एक पीस लिखा हुआ है उन्होंने. उसमें एक पैराग्राफ है सर, उसमें मैं पढ़ रहा हूं. व्हेन ही केम टू द मैनर ऑफ फंक्शनिंग शी हैड अ स्टाइल ऑफ हर ओन. शी वाज डेडली अर्नेस्ट व्हाइल टैकलिंग मैटर्स रिलेटिंग to the state or her party. Her dictates and fearless actions as prime minister led people to quip that she was the only man in the cabinet. ये misogynistic है. ये कांग्रेस के वेबसाइट पे है. Only man in the cabinet. ये misogynistic है. Book the Congress IT cell or the team that runs the Congress website. Where will we, sir, I'm telling you, do not even try defending this. This is absurd to the core. You can't have a situation where FIRs are filed for political cartoon, satire, sarcasm.
It's an honor that how daring and how brave she was and how strong administrator she was.
तो मूंछ लगा दिया तो वो misogynistic कैसे है? मूंछ लगाने से misogynistic कैसे है? So you can be a man, but you can't have a mustache. That is misogyny. Ravi Srivastava, sir सोच के बोला कीजिए आगे पीछे का. So you can be a man, but you have a problem with a mustache? Being a man, comparing a lady to a man is fine. That is some, it is like comparing her courage, valorizing her, etc., etc. But mustache is the problem. Ravi Srivastava, क्या बोल रहे हैं आप?
Manohar Lal Dhakad. It's a party of Chinmayanand.
हर डिबेट में आप, it is a party. Condemn it. I am condemning it. गलत है. आप ये बताइए ना, ये मिसोजिनिस्टिक कैसे हुआ? कांग्रेस के वेबसाइट पे है ये, कंपेयरिंग इंदिरा गांधी टू अ मैन. When you run out of things to say, फिर आप ये वॉट अबाउटरी करने लगते हैं. Absurdity borderline पे चले जाते हैं आप. निखिल, I have the whole list of things that the Congress leaders have told Prime Minister Modi. If I start reading, show khatam ho jayega.
I think we've already talked about that. Let me respond to the things. Let me respond to the things that were raised earlier. So my friend Shehzad Poonawala from the BJP, which is now called the Bharatiya Jumla Party, cited Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda minister, to say accuse the other side of what you are doing. I think that is what the BJP is doing right now. That they are accusing Indira Gandhi of being Hitler when they are the ones who are like Hitler. He also asked me to place on record facts more than the number of hair on my head. So I will not go into the personal jibe that he is taking, but I will place facts on the record. MS Golwarkar, RSS man, 1939, in his manifesto, he says, a good lesson for us in Hindustan to learn and profit by. What was he referring to? Hitler's Holocaust of the Jews. 1930s, B.S. Munji, RSS co-founder, met Mussolini, famously Italy's Hitler.
Just one
then
line,
in later on RSS leaders Golwalkar and V.D. Savarkar.
I've heard you.
Not
I
RSS,
applaud you for your
let him finish.
They openly said that we side with the RSS.
Correct.
Sorry. We are learning from Hitler and the Nazi party, and we should learn from Hitler and the Nazi party. Okay. Fact of the matter is, BJP, the Sangh Parivar are organizations which have always been inspired by Hitler. That is why the RSS uniform is exactly like that of SS, which was Hitler's youth wing or whatever it was. The fact remains
have you finished?
that the BJP
Okay,
is
let's get a response from the
line
BJP.
of
Just
what
one
they have
line.
been doing.
Yeah.
Just one line. Nikhil, you have stated about all these so-called facts which you've discovered, and I applaud you. I presume they're true. Did Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose meet Hitler? What are your views on Subhash Chandra Bose?
We are talking about.
I can't.
We are talking about.
I can't hear. I can't hear. अरे क्या हो गया? कुछ जोर से बोलो. जोर से बोलो. जोर से बोलो. You see, now let me complete. You search for the hair and the facts. The point is that in those times, in those tumultuous times, there were many interests that India had that were beyond imperial Raj. And therefore, whether Subhash Chandra Bose or certain other leaders had a view about Hitler, that was in a different domain. They didn't endorse the killing of Jews. Nobody does, but you do. You are the ones who say that Israel has no right to exist, you and your Jamaat. So by the way, if anybody is close to Hitler, it's you and your hairless facts.
No, let's not get personal. Just because you are blessed with good genes, Shehzad, you have rich, thick hair.
No, but I think that you call Prime Minister Modi Hitler, and then you...
Let's not get personal.
All right, I take that back.
Facts at your command. So
I take that back.
Thank you. Nikhil, what are your views on Subhash Chandra Bose? Simple question, answer that. You started this.
Netaji Bose met Hitler because he wanted Hitler help to attack the British Imperial Colonial Forces, which the Congress Party was fighting with.
That's what everyone was doing.
While the RSS and the Sangh Parivar were supporting the were supporting this British rule, but Netaji Bose never praised Hitler or the things that he was doing. He only wanted their military help. He sided with India's interests. These people were praising Hitler for the things he was doing for the genocide of Jews.
That's a good attempt, Nikhil Jain. That's a good attempt.
One second. We praised the genocide of Jews. Does this man even have any idea what he speaks? The only country which has never endorsed the genocide of Jews and has been sympathetic to the Jewish cause has been India, cutting across party lines and religious lines. But yet you want to come here and defame everybody just because you have a problem with Modi. Win an election, brother.
Okay, Tushar.
Nikhil was talking about 1939 की theory में ये लिखा था, ये उन्होंने अपने manifesto में लिखा था. Nikhil doesn't remember 1984. Has he forgotten 1984 Delhi? He is very particular about the theory from some RSS leader back in 1939, but he is completely conveniently ignorant about what happened in 1984 in Delhi. Why? A minority community was attacked. Nikhil himself is from a minority community. He doesn't share their pain. Nikhil is the same man who a week ago was debating with you, with the same panel almost, that why is India abstaining from the Gaza resolution? Why aren't we calling out Israel? And today he's pretending as if he's cared for Jews all his life for the last 100 years. What kind of hypocrisy is this? And to top it all, he's manufacturing his own version of history, which probably sells in the corners of the Congress IT cell, but won't sell in the real world.
Professor पाशा, देखिए, जो गलत है वो गलत है. अगर किसी ने हिटलर बोला मोदी को और उन्हीं की सरकार ने किसी दूसरे व्यक्ति को FIR कर दिया, बुक कर दिया, तो वो गलत है. इसको आपको बोलना चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी ने गलत बोला, खड़गे जी ने गलत बोला. आप अगर ये बोलेंगे तो आगे बढ़ सकती है डिबेट.
I would like to ask a question to Mr. Tushar Gupta. He was citing 1984. He escaped to mention 2002 Gujarat, when the massacre of Muslims took place there. Don't remember it. Should it be condemned? Who is responsible for it? Who was the chief minister of that state?
Okay. No, let Tushar respond. Then you
don't try to.
Yes, Tushar, you respond. I'll get in the BJP.
The Prime Minister, who you usually blame for the 2002 riots, was acquitted by the Supreme Court. What happened to Jagdish Titler? Can you tell us what happened to Jagdish Titler? Rahul Gandhi in 2014 was apologizing for 1984 across all media channels. Please read up on your history. What is with the India Alliance that they're manufacturing their own version of history? Is everyone an aspiring wannabe Romila Thapar now these days? What's going on?
Shehzad.
Professor Pasha should know that as far as the 1984 riots are concerned, the first conviction of Sajjan Kumar took place in 2018, in which the High Court said that this was reminiscent of the genocide that took place and that there should be trials like the Nuremberg trials to get people to book, because the political powers that be at the center protected people like Sajjan Kumar and they continue to protect Jagdish Titler. Contrary to that, the 2002 case, the Supreme Court has found nothing. But having said that, since you are remembering Muslims, remember Bhagalpur. Who was in power in Bhagalpur? And you are with the same party who was in power during Bhagalpur. Who was in power during Hashimpura? Who was in power during Nelli? Who was in power during Jalgaon? Who was in power during Ahmedabad? Who was in power during Mumbai? Shiv Sena को आप गाली देते थे, उस शिव सेना को इंडिया अलायंस में लिया है. These people have abused बाळासाहेब ठाकरे and उद्धव ठाकरे कि मुंबई को जलाया इन लोगों ने, कृष्णा रिपोर्ट. And they are in alliance.
Let's get a
गजब है भाई.
Doing all these things. The communal people were doing all these things.
Sir,
the
communal people now.
Okay, communal people. Sir, communal. Sanjay Raut said Muslimon ka voting right le lo, communal or not?
Why Modi ji was banned in US and UK?
Sir, आप
why his entry was banned?
बैन किया नहीं किया, US छोड़ दो ना, वो इनवाइट कर रहे हैं, हम जा नहीं रहे, महाप्रभु के पास जा रहे हैं, छोड़ दो. मैं आपसे दूसरा पूछ रहा हूँ. सर, संजय राउत ने बोला मुस्लिम्स वोटिंग राइट्स शुड बी रिवोक्ड, कम्युनल, yes or no? पाशा जी इनकमिंग ऑन कीजिए ना प्लीज.
Know the truth. People know the truth.
Sir,
what is the role of RSS?
Professor Pasha,
what is the ideology of RSS?
Raise an issue, no 1 minute, sir. If you raise a point of order, you know, as in if you want to argue on principle, तब तो आपको स्टैंड लेना चाहिए. अभी आप 2002 के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, जो बाकी मैसेकर्स हैं उसमें कुछ नहीं बोल रहे हैं, आप कम्युनल बोल रहे हैं.
मैं एक बार
let's name the people, call it out.
एक बार फिर से ट्राई करता हूं, आप शांत हो गए इसलिए. संजय राउत हैज सेड इन सामना मुस्लिम्स वोटिंग राइट शुड बी रिवोक्ड और बाबरी को 17 मिनट में लात मार के गिराया. कम्युनल और सेक्युलर?
Your government have deleted the names of Muslims from the electoral rolls.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
Babri se aap kahan aa gaye electoral process?
Communal or secular?
By the way, I'll tell you, sir, what the Bombay High Court said yesterday. The Congress has been saying that there has been some, you know, bogus voting, bogus voter lists, etc., That petition was thrown out. And the people who are peddling that are silent today. But I want to once again underline the fundamental question with which we began. If Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Khadge can get away by calling Prime Minister Modi, comparing him to Hitler, then what's going on here in a Congress-ruled state? And the so-called, you know, the free speech ecosystem in our country, where is that? The silence is telling, it's almost deafening. Koi kuch nahi bol raha hai, not in my name. Have you seen any placards, viewers? I haven't. So be careful of what you say. If you say anything about the Congress leaders, the Chief Minister, even the spokespeople, or you run the risk of being booked, or even worse, being jailed. Hopefully, better sense will prevail and the government will revoke this action, because this is not on. This is political intolerance and this is not the Jai Samvidhan spirit. Nehru started by changing the character of the constitution by the first amendment. This is a result of that. This is that same mindset, that emergency mindset. So next time Rahul Gandhi tells you Mohabbat ki dukaan, free speech, this, that, the other, remember what they had done with the Indira Hitler analogy. Let's shift our attention, viewers. I thank some of you for joining us.